Hello everyone, it is the Social Club. Earlier on this week we discussed the English club's chances ahead of Thursday's Champions League group draw. Now we're going to be talking about the big hitters in Europe. Statman Dave is here still, of course. Hi Dave. And Ped as well.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You're trying to show you've got a bit more wider football knowledge by wearing a France international top for this one.
I've got really wide football knowledge.
Yeah.
Really wide.
Gaping.
It's massive. Plus experience, which you two haven't got.
Of course, yeah.
Decades.
Experience in it, a decade.
Decades of experience. Where were you in 1986, eh? Nowhere. Exactly.
Where were you in 1986? In your prime at
20 years
6
old.
years old, 7?
I was down the
25.
mines. That's where I was. Down the pit till Thatcher got us out. How dare she say 7-year-old can't work? Let's go. Let's keep going.
Give him his milk as well.
She took that off.
If you haven't got the anagram yet from Monday's show, do it now in the comments below. Anyway, look, let's start with the big talking points I think in this Champions League. Real Madrid go into it without Cristiano Ronaldo, and Juve go into it with Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's how it works.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
You know,
how
look,
it works.
Juve have been a little unlucky at times. You know, it's become something of a curse for them. Real Madrid have just pissed it for years now. Is Cristiano Ronaldo enough for that to be a changing of the tide?
I think so, yeah. You look at him, his record over the last 3 seasons, Real Madrid have won it 3 times in a row. 38 games he's played, 43 goals, 12 assists. He's been directly involved in a goal every 63 minutes.
It's ridiculous.
It's
Why did
absolutely
they
insane.
sell him? Why? Someone's sitting in a room now, probably in the merchandise department of Real Madrid, just banging their head on the desk. The Japanese section has fallen.
Nobody wants Lucas Vazquez t-shirts.
Oh, why? It's good, tactical, decent little player.
yeah, that sells.
Someone's sitting there wondering why they've got thousands of Benzema tops going, why can't we shift this stock?
Everyone's tactical, nice little players
what you
on the
want,
back
yeah,
of their
exactly.
shirts. Like,
The
all,
workhorses.
all the neutrals who buy a shirt for the name just want a bit of Lucas
Lucas
Vazquez.
Vazquez, that's it, man, that's it. But no, I think Real Madrid will struggle, they really will. Taking that out of the side, of course, Gareth Bale has started to perform well this season, but is he Cristiano Ronaldo level? Absolutely not. And I think that's going to be the problem, how they set up tactically, how they're going to deal with this change in strategy from a flexible Zinedine Zidane to a kind of possession-based Lopetegui, like kind of ingrained in that. I kind of see the likes of Casemiro that's been the guy that links everything, like that kills people, that destroys, you know, opposition's wingers as well, defensive midfielders, everything. Like, I kind of see him out the side. Kroos will probably come in. You've got Isco, Modric in midfield. Like, it's kind of got no work in it.
That's if Modric stays.
Again, that's another big question. Is Luka Modric going to stay? So there's a lot of questions on this side at the moment when last year kind of didn't really have any.
Yeah, you did wonder whether that was a bit of a last hurrah, and to be fair, you know, I was there. What a way to send it off. Like, not so much for us, but yeah. But yeah, you know, you move Ronaldo on, look, Bale will be clamouring for this. You know, there's a guy who came on, he showed his quality in the Champions League final. You can't take that the overhead kick was absolutely something else. Like, phenomenal talent. The questions are going to be whether his legs will hold out for the full campaign, and as they've got the experience. We were talking about this. I think in European competition, I think that nous counts for so much. I mean, again, look at how Juventus are there or thereabouts, so dominant in their domestic league, and they're getting there or thereabouts in the Champions League. Real Madrid been there, done, and it counts for a lot.
Yeah,
in
I
those
think
kind of
I think 2 games last season proved that. The game Real Madrid versus Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid hadn't been playing that well up to that point, and Paris Saint-Germain had been destroying everyone in front of them, and then you put them together, and I know Neymar got the injury, but suddenly that clash of just how do we get through these games, and then the Spurs-Juventus game was exactly the same. You know, you heard the Juventus players coming out after the game going, we knew they would bottle it because they don't win big games. We do win those games, and then that's the difference in the Champions League, and having that experience counts for so much. Having that just having that know-how, how to get through 2-legged games. Some people have got it, some people it's completely alien to them. They play what's in front of them for 90 minutes. Some people are a little bit clever, even if they go into the second leg behind, if they know there's an advantage somewhere that they can work on, they'll take that into the game.
I think the thing with Juve, I mean, look, they've brought fresh blood in there. You know, Emre Can, I know he's not quite settled in just yet or whatever, and there are question marks over the age of that midfield. Well, it's an Italian team. There's question marks over the age period. They brought Cancelo in, haven't they?
Bonucci's back.
Bonucci's back. I hope he's terrible, because he was terrible for Milan in the Europa League last season. But that, again, maybe that's another one of those things. They're bringing experience in a department where, again, in Europe, it adds so much. It's what got them through in that regard. But one note, and people who maybe watch more of Juventus will be able to put me straight on this. They have got Wojciech Szczesny as their number one goalkeeper now with no Buffon.
He massively improved at Roma, and he's looked good this season so far. But I think
still Szczesny.
But I think the experience around him will massively help him there. The likes of Chiellini and Bonucci, the players we just mentioned there, like those guys have done it.
It's a question mark, though, isn't it? When you get into a massive tournament like that, and you turn around, and again, look, this might be the season where he absolutely unequivocally proves his quality and does the flying V's to Arsene Wenger. I mean, I've said it on a few different places over the years. I watched him when he got relegated to their under-21s, because he was that bad for Arsenal, and he was terrible at that level as well. But you know, when the chips are down, can they rely on him? That's going to be.
I think the fact that he's been there for a year and there's been that integration at the club, but just not having Buffon there. I mean, I know we've talked a lot about the City documentary, but if anyone's watched the Juve documentary, there's a bit in it where Buffon gets an injury to his side, and I think it was before the Spurs' second leg, and they're saying, you think are you going to miss it? And he was like, no. And they're training him, and they're saying, well, we'll just do all the saves to your other side. And he's like, why? I'm playing tomorrow, and I'm going to be diving on that side, so I want to be diving all day. And you know, he's got a real problem. He's like, I'm playing no matter what. And it's that togetherness, it's that leadership at a club again. All these senior players that have made Juve tick. But like Real Madrid, there's got to be that time when there's got to be transition. Someone else has got to step up, and you've got to find those people. And,
this
that's
is not
what
a Real
makes
Madrid.
These big clubs.
This is not a Real Madrid side that's it's still got Gareth Bale. It's still got Benzema. You still got Isco. You still got. They're not short on quality, are they? And there are, it just means that other people have got to step up in that regard. Let's talk about a few other teams then. One that I thought might be a shout, or it could be one of two, but more likely, I guess, Bayern over Dortmund. I mentioned it with the English teams on Monday, and how the World Cup hangover, and obviously players not being fully right and fully fit. It's not really impacted the German teams in the same way. Bayern Munich haven't really had to deal with that kind of thing, and Ribery didn't go to the World Cup, did he? So this could be that season where you see a German team, or probably not Hoffenheim, but
maybe not Hoffenheim. But we'll talk about those guys later on, because we need to talk about them. I think the Bayern side is interesting because of the coach and the strategy that he wants to employ. Maybe not in the league domestically.
Well, is Kovac the weak link almost in this, because he's not got that experience?
You see, I'd say he's more of a strength because of how he wants to play. He's talking about counter-attacks, fast, quick, direct play. That Eintracht Frankfurt used to do that, and that's why they were successful in winning the German Cup last season. And that would be a good strategy for Bayern. They've got a lot of players that would do well there. You think Lewandowski's best sort of time was under Jurgen Klopp, when they played a traditionally counter-attacking team in the Champions League. Dortmund were, where they played to him, they hit long balls to him, and him bringing the likes of Muller in, bringing in the likes of Ribery, Robin, that could work really well.
Ribery and Robin, though, just say though, like
how
they're still playing.
Yeah,
I mean, Ribery's what? He must be
34.
34. Robin, cheese-string legs.
But if you get
surely you can't rely on those players, though. I think that's what I think. A big problem with Bayern is that they haven't integrated new players. They haven't brought these. But I don't think that
they same time have that. Nicolas Schuler's come in, Joshua Kimmich has come in.
So
the integration started, but I know what you mean. There's no
maybe it's more,
up top. Maybe
it's more next year. I think they needed to. I mean, Muller's gone so much off the boil as well in the last year. I think
he kind of came back into it back in last season, but in the Champions League, his performances were very, very poor against Real in that quarter for the semi-final.
I just can't imagine them having a big year this season. With Lewandowski as well, with his problems.
There's the other thing, like, will he stay? Will he go? He's obviously probably going to stay.
There's a meeting fixed, isn't there, for the 2nd of September?
But Dortmund, moving on, Dortmund could be interesting. Lucien Favre, whenever you watch his Gladbach side in Europe, always played really good football, but I can't see him winning it, but there'll be exciting games. There'll be like 3-3s, 4-4s.
You wonder whether, obviously time of film, we've got a couple of days till the European transfer window shut, and whether they pick someone else up, because they still haven't plugged that gap in attack. There was talk of them being after Divock Origi, and I'm sorry, I like Divock as a fella, but he was never going to be the goal machine or whatever that they need. I think some of it will depend upon that, of course.
Could see Royce playing centrally. Like that's one thing that Favre did at Gladbach when he had him.
But now you trust him, Royce, for a full
That again, you'd expect him now. Maybe this is his last big chance to do it, and like, he's going to be pumped up to do that with Dortmund. Yeah. You got a lot of the likes of Pulisic, Sancho. There's a lot of exciting young players. Dahoud,
Axel Witsel,
Witsel who's come back, and that's the exciting side with this Dortmund team. I think they'll be the hipsters' choice in a way of this team's going to be fun to watch. And
I think this is their best opportunity for a while for the Bundesliga. But Champions League maybe not, but I think it'll be closer at the top in Germany if anyone's bothered.
We've talked about Real, Juve, Bayern, Barcelona, another one they brought in.
Who?
Barcelona. Exactly, remember them. They brought in some fresh blood as well, and I think not just on Malcolm. I mean, in terms of Ousmane Dembele, he's now come off the back of a World Cup win. He's had a full pre-season. Yeah. He's there. He's going to be much more.
The weekend, didn't he?
He's going to be much more dominant and much more impactful than he was last year. And yet you're still plugging in. Kind of like Real Madrid kind of thing. You still got the old heads.
That's the Luis Suarez's form has been a bit strange. I think he's definitely dropped. He's lost maybe a yard of pace that he used to have, and it's going to be interesting to see whether he goes out and they play Malcolm and Dembele and Messi. Like the big talk was Griezmann to Barcelona. That didn't come off. He signed a new deal there, so they wanted that player, and I feel Barcelona are going to be. They're either going to be really exciting or absolutely rubbish. I think Rakitic has rejected PSG as well, so he's still there. You've got Busquets in midfield, Coutinho as well, that stepped massively up at the World Cup. That's going to be exciting. So I think Barcelona have got a lot of young players, and it's basically going to be like, can we get the best out of Messi again? Yeah. If you get the best out of Messi, you win a Champions League. Simple as that.
We're talking about Ronaldo. The impact of losing Iniesta, I think, will be massive for them, and it's who fills the gap.
Well, it's interesting
as a leader.
What did they do? What did they do with Coutinho? Because I mean, he was playing predominantly from the left, wasn't he, when he signed last season, and having an impact. But we started to use him as an attacking mid. There was talk that he was going to be the long-term replacement for Iniesta, but he's still unproven in that position at the highest level. I would bank on him to be great, but
the good thing about Spain is you have 36 games for him to just do that, and then you put him in the Champions League for the other games. And that it's a good place to learn. I'd say. I
think the left midfield is the issue. I think you've got a lot on the right. I think Dembele's better on the right. I think Malcolm has played predominantly on the right for Bordeaux. It's who's going to play left midfield if it's not Suarez, and I think that's going to be a big call. Suarez and Messi got a great relationship, but you're going to break that up.
Dembele. I'm telling you right now.
No, I understand that. I just think I'd prefer him on the right-hand side. I think he's better on the right.
He's left-footed.
You're not the coach.
He is, but he's
But that's what I mean. Because he's left-footed, it doesn't naturally follow. Yeah, play on the left anymore. You're more likely to have him on the right. But outside shouts, then. Dave, you were desperate to have this included.
Yeah, I wanted this included. I think Hoffenheim it'd be nice to see Julian Nagelsmann in the Champions League. Obviously, they lost to Liverpool last season.
Do we have drug tests here?
But they're a fun team. They're a team that will catch you out.
Fun doesn't win things.
Wouldn't be the most.
Fun does not win trophies.
Fun is fun.
Fun is not.
It's not the most questionable thing Dave said on the internet this week.
But 5 at the back, that could work. Like we were saying, the 3-5-2, the 5-3-2 could be a good system to play.
I mean, look, it's a year on from Liverpool playing them in the Champions League, but they were very naive in terms of attitude and how they set up. But they looked a decent side. Napoli.
That's another really interesting
Carlo
one.
Ancelotti for me, because look, Napoli were great last season, but you're plugging a guy who, as far as been there...
He's a serial Champions League winner.
Absolutely. And I thought it was a bit of an odd appointment. Look at the clubs that Ancelotti's been at. I never felt... He doesn't feel like a fit for Napoli to me at all. But, again, you were talking about all we've got on is experience. Them not having the Champions League, the level of Champions League experience that the top clubs that we've covered have, but he brings that. He's got that. He goes, okay, you don't know what you do, and I do.
He might be the key for them to make that step up. And Napoli have been hipster's choice for the last few years, but that normally comes with not winning trophies.
Yeah,
we might be the link that will get them trophies.
I think that's a really good point. That it's like the next step to push them on. They've lost Jorginho. Yeah. I think tactically, Jorginho in the Champions League would get found out playing defensive midfield just because he's too good on the ball, not defensively aware. But getting rid of him, playing Hamzik, and Allen in central midfield, like Ancelotti as well, tactically always sort of transitions to that 4-4-2 without the ball. And we've seen Real Madrid counter really well with that, Milan counter really well with that. And they've kind of got the likes of Dries Mertens, Insigne, Milik's coming back in, Callejon. There's a lot of players there that you think, you're a really good player, but you've not done it in the Champions League. Yeah. Under Ancelotti's got a bit of time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Inter Milan?
I was so unconvinced with them when I watched them first week of the season. They were really, really poor. Like they lost 1-0. They were just atrocious. And I think it's with that, and if they get Modric, is a game changer. That's the big thing there. They've got the likes of Vasalko, Perisic, having Modric, Brozovic. They've got that Croatian spine that did so well in the World Cup, that was physical, aggressive, and that would help it. I think someone, you're looking at Roma as well. Like, yeah, they've lost a few players, but they've still got the likes of Edin Dzeko in there. Under, who I was very impressed with last season, is going to come through as being one of the best left wingers in world football. Sorry, right wingers in world football. And I think they've still got that. They've replaced their keeper. Steven Nzonzi's come in. They've made some good signings, and that's what you expect when Monchi's your director of football. Yeah. That's what you get. And I think they'll still do well. Di Francesco's a very good coach. And I'm kind of excited to see if they can continue that Champions League vibe where they, the recovery against Barcelona, that showed real good character. Yeah. And that's credit to the coach. Yeah. As well as some of the players that are in that squad and still in that squad. So again, I think there's a lot of exciting Italian teams. Wouldn't be surprised if Italian team wins it this season.
Absolutely. We haven't really mentioned about Atletico. I guess the other natural.
Yeah, 100%. Well, they absolutely schooled Real Madrid in that Super Cup final.
I think they'll have a big year. I think that continuity, keeping Griezmann,
massive.
Costa looks like he's up for it again this season, and he'll fit a lot better this season, I think, into the way they want to play. But the defenders they've got, the managers are looning. They just got. I think it's almost like the right year for someone like them, because of everything else that's going on. But
it's an interesting point, isn't it? You talk about that. The managers. We've not really gone too much into the managers, but it's another part of they're not a team in transition. I think is an important.
Well, what they are, right? A lot of the teams we've talked about. There's movement. There's players coming in. There's players going out. There might be a team who have gone too old. They're sort of just at the right place at the right time, and if they didn't do it now, you could see it all falling apart very quickly. Just because naturally you would expect a lot of their players to just move on with not winning trophies.
I think it's what's interesting, like the two signings, Thomas Lemar on the left wing, and then maybe Gelson Martins on the right wing. Like that's a changing Atletico. Yeah. Like we all know that they can go to a game, play 4 central midfielders across, just beat you with a stick and beat you that way. But now we're seeing this other side where they've got some natural width. Simeone can now go to the bench and be like, we can play this way, that way, or that way, and we can unlock a lot of doors. And I think the Griezmann-Costa thing is going to be very important as well, very, very important to see how they develop. You've also got Angel Correa that can come off the bench, made a big impact in the Super Cup. I think this is the time when they need to win it. What upsets me is Gabby's not there, because he deserved to win a Champions League.
I think Griezmann as well. I think he's got to move from one of those players that's sort of under the very top players to get in that bracket.
Well, this is the opportunity, isn't it? I felt last year was a bit like, again, the last year of the old lads, the ones who've been the heroes of the Champions League, your Buffons, your Ronaldos, etc., etc. Look, they're both going to be playing in the Champions League this season, to be fair. But you're dead right, is that, and the World Cup saw a little bit of that transition, didn't it? Where it was Mbappe's time to shine, etc., etc. This is the opportunity, I think, this year where the lads who were, and that, I know we could have covered it earlier, but that's an opportunity for the Mohamed Salah as much as anyone else. Like there's a in the next 2 years we're going to see the end of Ronaldo, the end of Messi as the superpowers, and who are the next 3 best players in the world to come in. So I agree, Griezmann's got a big shout to be that this time.
McTominay is going to be that guy.
Yeah, he's not. Listen, let us know what you think. In fact, before we do, favourites to win the tournament?
I'd say Atletico. Ooh. Juve at the moment.
I still think Barcelona. I think they've got that continuity. I know they've brought new players in, but I still think they've got that continuity to win it. I still think Real Madrid will do really well. But Paris Saint-Germain, we haven't even spoke about Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. We haven't even spoke about them. They've probably got their best front 3 in Europe on paper. Whether that'll translate to the Champions League, I don't know whether they've got the know-how. But they've got to get over that hurdle. They've got to get past the quarterfinals.
Oh, no.
But with the feel-good factor of the Frenchness as well. They've got to start, because they're another one. If they don't do it this season, I can see people coming for Neymar.
Yeah, as I think Juventus it should be, because the story's set for Juve. They've come so close. What do? You go and buy the guy who wins Champions League
and knocks them out. Knocked them out last season, beat them in the final the season before.
Or as I said earlier, and I think just in terms of the freshness and what have you, maybe a Bayern Munich or something, this will be a chance for them to get back into that bracket. But let us know in the comments below who are your favourites. In fact, rank them if you want to as well. And if you want to check out what we thought of the English teams, check that out. And if you want to see what we think of the draw itself, we are live from 5 o'clock on the Ball Street YouTube. No, you're not.
I'm talking about Everton versus Rotherham, the big games.
Yes! Oh, League Cup.
Come on!
Subscribe to the Ball Street channel. Make sure you're already click the notification bell to be notified when we go live, and we shall see you there. Ta-da.